I recently came across this poll asking a very simple question. Which American president do you admire most? The results were interesting. Barack Obama finished first at 30%. Donald Trump came in second at 19%. Then came Abraham Lincoln, Ronald Reagan, John F. Kennedy, George Washington, and Franklin Roosevelt. And when I saw those results, one thing immediately came to mind: recency bias. Recency bias is the tendency to give more importance to events that happened recently than events that happened long ago. It's something all of us do. Ask a football fan about the greatest quarterback of all time, and they're probably going to name somebody they actually watched play. Ask somebody about the greatest movie ever made, and they'll often mention something from their lifetime. History works the same way. Most Americans today lived through the Obama years. We are currently living through the Trump years. People have strong opinions about both presidents because they experienced them firsthand, but no Americans know anybody who lived through the presidency of Abraham Lincoln. Obviously, nobody alive today was alive during George Washington's administration. And that's where things get interesting, because some of the most important presidents in American history were president during some of the most important times of American history. Take Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln received only 9% in this poll. Now, admiration is subjective and everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but imagine trying to describe the United States without Lincoln. When he took office in 1861, the country was literally falling apart. State after state was leaving the Union. The Civil War would become the bloodiest conflict in American history. More Americans died in that war than World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam combined. Lincoln's leadership helped preserve the Union. His Emancipation Proclamation transformed the war into a fight against slavery, and his support for the 13th Amendment helped end slavery in the United States. Whether you agree with every decision he made or not, it's difficult to imagine America existing in its current form without Abraham Lincoln. Then there's George Washington. Washington only received 5%, but consider this: winning the American Revolution was only half the battle. The world had seen plenty of revolutions before. Many ended with military dictators taking power. Washington had absolutely every opportunity to become a king after the revolution, but he stepped down. He established the tradition of peaceful transfers of power and showed that the presidency served the Constitution, not the other way around. And while that might be the expectation today, at the time, it was revolutionary. Many historians agree that if Washington had failed, the American experiment would have failed right with him. And then there's Franklin Roosevelt. Only 3% of respondents named him, yet Roosevelt guided the country through two of the greatest crises in modern history: the Great Depression and World War II. He served longer than any president in American history. Under his leadership, the United States transformed from a nation struggling to recover economically into the leading power of the Allied victory. Again, whether you agree with every policy is beside the point. The scale of his impact on American history is absolutely impossible to ignore. So does this poll prove that Americans don't know history? I don't think so. I think it proves something much more human. We naturally connect with the presidents we remember, the ones we saw on television, the ones we voted for or against. We're often so entrenched in our own political tribes that admiration and criticism can become part of our identity, and maybe social media amplifies that, constantly reminding us who we're supposed to cheer for and who we're supposed to oppose, the ones whose decisions affected our daily lives. That's normal. But history challenges us to look beyond our own experiences. Sometimes the most influential figures are the ones furthest removed from our lives, and that's why studying history matters. It helps us see beyond the headlines, beyond our own generation, and beyond recency bias. Because if we're going to answer the question of which president we admire the most, it might help to first understand what each of them actually accomplished. And that's a conversation worth having. Who would you choose and why?